Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on the best looking t-shirt money can buy. Get Off My TV version 2. Now including Big Show, Kane, Ryback, and the Black Sheep, Braun Strowman. Available now for $19.99. ProWrestlingTees.com/offthescript. Go get yours today and join the revolution. Join the movement and wear it with pride every single Monday night during Monday Night Raw. Get Off My TV. Once again, now available through my online shop at ProWrestlingTees.com/offthescript. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, and I'm going to take a little bit easy today, guys. I'm going to take a little bit easy today. My mouth and the side of my face where they took my fucking wisdom tooth out, kind of sore. They stitched me up. I got dissolvable stitches in my mouth. All went very well. I appreciate all the love and support and the thoughts and prayers that you guys sent my way via text message. I heard from Joe. I heard from Justin LaBar. Greatly appreciate you guys. I love you both. And everybody that reached out to me on Twitter. You guys are fucking awesome. I got the best fans in the world. And I would not be here without you guys. And, you know, to know that you care about me as much as you do means the fucking world to me, man. I'm going to be here for you guys, giving you the best fucking videos that I possibly can. And I feel good enough to do Off the Script for the rest of the weekend, man. I'm feeling okay. You know, I was a little down yesterday. I can't eat much. I can't eat solid foods. I got to eat pudding and fucking yogurt and mashed potatoes. And, you know, I got to take it easy. And I got a lot of news, so hopefully I can get through this in one quick motion. Hope there's no setbacks with my tooth because it is kind of sore still. I can't drink beer. I can't drink orange juice. I can't have coffee. Everything I do drink has to be room temperature. So it does suck. And hopefully the healing process, you know, goes as planned. So I don't want to do anything, and I don't want to yell like I usually do. I don't want to give you the typical off the script intro, just knowing that my mouth is still kind of fucked up. So it is what it is, guys. So I hope you all understand. And I got a lot of news for you. This is episode 109 of Off the Script. This is part number 3. There will be a part number 4 of Off the Script on Monday at 11 a.m. I got so much news. I'm backtracked on news. So make sure you guys tune into the channel tomorrow, Monday morning. Don't get used to it because I have a lot of news. And I'm grateful there's a lot of news, man. It's WrestleMania 32. You know, it's WrestleMania season. So if I didn't have a lot of news, I would not have videos for you guys to watch and enjoy. So be grateful for that. I'm grateful for it. Hopefully you guys feel the same, but I do have a lot of news. We're going to go over a lot of things, a lot of WrestleMania-esque rumors going around with Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt. I got the latest on that. I got news on Vince McMahon. I got news on Hulk Hogan and his Gawker victory, $115 million. So we're going to discuss all that, plus so much more. Possible rumor of the Lucha Dragons splitting up as well. And I got a lot of news for you on Monday as well. Triple H really getting angry with high-end WWE executives for them disrespecting NXT. And I got news on Triple H and Kurt Angle. Did they really meet at Monday, or on Monday at the Arnold Classic in Pittsburgh? I got news on that. I know a lot of people were anticipating a Kurt Angle possible return to the WWE. I got news on that for Monday as well. A bunch of shit all weekend, so stay right here to Off the Script. Before I get into that, guys, thank you to those who bought t-shirts after me wearing the new merchandise yesterday on Off the Script. Get Off My TV version number 2, $19.99, where you can get yours, ProWrestlingTees.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys get yours today and join the revolution, man. Join the movement. $19.99. They come in all shapes and sizes, and they ship domestically as well as internationally, all over the world, man. Join the revolution and look good doing it while you're watching Monday Night Raw. Follow me on Twitter, at JD from NY206. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, because this is the #1 fucking podcast on YouTube.com when it comes to WWE. And as always, my friends over at WrestleCrate, WrestleCrate.com, and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. They also work out of the United Kingdom. That's WrestleCrate UK. and you can use the coupon code JDSENTME for an instant 10% off your regular crate or the ultimate crate. So make sure you guys go show them some love and check them out. The #1 subscription service delivered to your front door for wrestling goodies. Give me a second, guys. Can't really talk for too much as a whole like I usually do because of my mouth. You know, I got stitches back there, so it is kind of difficult to do these types of videos now, but I feel good enough to do it. So let's get right into the news, guys. I got news on Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt and their match for WrestleMania 32 that could have numerous run-ins, including Hall of Famers and the Wyatt family. One of the most anticipated matches at WrestleMania 32 is the no-holds-barred street fight between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. Everyone knows that this is going to be an absolutely brutal and violent brawl that could go either way. Even though neither wrestler has a lot of friends or associates, there could be plenty of interference, including run-ins from the Wyatt family and a WWE Hall of Famer. Even though Dean Ambrose is extremely popular and one of the top talents in all of WWE right now, some are finding it hard to believe that he could even defeat Brock Lesnar. One has to think that Lesnar has decimated and dominated John Cena, The Undertaker, The New Day, Rusev, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, and a host of others without much trouble. That includes the Wyatt family, and Brock Lesnar pretty much eliminating most of the Wyatt family in the Royal Rumble. Putting the stipulation of a street fight on the match does help things some, and it makes it more believable. Ambrose can use weapons and possibly could pull out a victory, and the loss wouldn't hurt Lesnar at all, since it wouldn't necessarily be a clean loss. Still, there is much more that could end up working in the favor of Dean Ambrose. With the rumored post-WrestleMania 32 plans in place for a Brock Lesnar vs. Bray Wyatt feud, Ambrose could get help from unlikely allies. Wyatt may not end up with a match at WrestleMania due to his back injury, but he also may have enough in him to cause an interference. WrestleZone is reporting that Wyatt did return to action at a house show on Friday night. It was a 6-man tag, so it's not known how much he did, in fact, wrestle, but he did get along with the others in the ring, and he did have an active in-ring participation. WWE likely won't push it until he's fully healed and ready to go. Along with the other members of the Wyatt family, Bray could interfere in the Ambrose-Lesnar match and not cause a disqualification, being that it is no holds barred. They could beat down Lesnar, further the feud that started at the Royal Rumble, and force him to lose, which will bring about Brock Lesnar wanting revenge. Still, that's not at all that's not all the help that Ambrose might have coming his way. This past week on Monday Night Raw, Mick Foley appeared in a backstage segment with Ambrose and told him that a crowbar wouldn't help him against Brock Lesnar. It was then that Mick Foley passed the torch to Ambrose and also gave him a present, which was his signature bat wrapped in barbed wire, a bat so affectionately named Barbie. PWMania.com even reported that Foley spoke on the segment from Monday and how happy he was and how happy it came off. The torch is passed. As soon as last night's promo on Raw, he said, "I held up my arm and said, I'm pretty sure I'm getting goosebumps during a promo, and that is a sign that it's working. After 30 years, I still love this stuff." It is known that Foley will be at WrestleMania 32, and he's meant to get involved in a storyline of some kind. Fans now know which storyline it is, and it's possible that he could end up helping out his student against Brock Lesnar. Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar need no help in drawing an audience or keeping the interest of fans. Throw in weapons and it makes it even better. Add some outside interference from numerous big names in WWE, and this match could potentially steal the show. WrestleMania 32 is going to be huge, and it's going to bring about some fantastic matches, including the no-holds-barred street fight between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. Ambrose kind of has the deck stacked against him for this match with Brock Lesnar, but Mick Foley and the Wyatt family could really end up evening the odds. Now, Mick Foley interfering in this match, I do not see, being that the Wyatt family, I know for a fact, and if WWE and their creative writing team has any logic at all, the Wyatt family would interfere in this match. They would begin the feud with Brock Lesnar, and they would cause a disruption in this match. If they are going to disrupt this match on behalf of Dean Ambrose merely to get to Brock Lesnar, then Mick Foley might not be needed. Now, if it was the other way around, if Dean Ambrose was being attacked by the Wyatt family, then Mick Foley could come in and lend a helping hand, and he could bring a fucking flaming 2x4 or another barbed wire baseball bat, and then Barbie could get involved. That might make sense. But being that the Wyatts want Brock Lesnar, and the logical idea is to start this feud with Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar, they are going to interfere on behalf of Dean Ambrose. You know, they don't like Dean Ambrose to begin with, but the Wyatts have one thing in mind, and that is getting to Brock Lesnar. How the WWE makes sense of that, how they script the Wyatt family in this role, why they want to go after Brock Lesnar needs to be told. We need to have some type of reasoning as to why they want Brock Lesnar so badly, why they're interfering in this match. That's what I need to have happen if this is going to happen at WrestleMania. Why? What are they doing there? For what reason? You got to answer those questions. You know, if you're a creative writer and you have an idea in your head, the first thing you should think about is why. What are the reasons for such and such interfering in this match? From there, you can build a storyline, okay? Why? And I mentioned this several episodes ago. It all starts with the question of why. Why is this happening? Why is Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family resorting to these actions? For what reason do they have? You know, build it from there. If you have a solid answer to that question, then you can build your storyline, and I hope that's the road WWE goes down, because more times than not, Bray Wyatt is in these feuds with a Roman Reigns or a Dean Ambrose or a fucking, it could be a random Joe Schmo, and we don't know why he's feuding. We don't know why they're feuding with anybody, to be honest with you. They give some long-winded answer in some cryptic fucking message, and nobody understands them. This one I want to understand. Now, WWE has rumored to have some big, huge plans for Bray Wyatt following WrestleMania. What they are, I don't know. Bray Wyatt could win the WWE Championship before all is said and done. He could win Money in the Bank and cash in on a Roman Reigns. I don't know. That is, if Roman Reigns is the WWE Champion. I don't know, man. I really don't. But they are said to have big plans for Bray Wyatt. Those plans, I know, include a match with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam in Brooklyn, New York, SummerSlam 2016. So Bray Wyatt is going to receive a huge push following WrestleMania. WWE understands this, and they understand it needs to be done. Otherwise, there's going to be backlash. WWE is no fool. I hope not. I hope they realize that what they have with the Wyatt family needs to be addressed, and that these guys need to be booked correctly. I mean, they don't have a fucking match, for crying out loud. And I brought it up on part 2. The Wyatt family could realistically hijack this entire show. They could hijack, I'm not saying the entire show, because they really don't need to get involved with the New Day and anything else that's going on. You know, the Women's Championship and Ryback versus Kalisto. I mean, they could realistically do whatever the fuck they want. But if you have them strategically in the big 3 matches, and I'm talking about Ambrose versus Lesnar, the Hell in the Cell, the WWE Championship match, they could really tear things down at WrestleMania and make it their show, you know, for not being included in this show. WWE hasn't even given them anything to do, and they could really be outlaws here. They could backlash against WWE creative and the higher-ups. Listen, you don't have anything for us, we're taking over this fucking show. We're going to do what we want, and we're going to go after every big name, and all the influential possible outcomes that WWE has hanging in the balance could revolve around the Wyatt family. They could be the outside force that swings the momentum of every big outcome at WrestleMania. Think about it, you know? Being that WWE doesn't seem to think that they are important enough to be on WrestleMania or at WrestleMania, they're just going to waltz right on in there and just take over the fucking show. However WWE wants to script that, by all means, have fun with it. That's a fucking creative writer's dream right there. This WrestleMania needs to be big, and the Wyatt family may be a vital part of what happens at WrestleMania. All I know is that they will be included in this match, because out of everything that I just mentioned, they have to go back and explain why Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family went after Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble. If you don't go back to that and explain to me why those actions were taken, then none of this makes sense. So I know for a fact they will interfere in this match. It doesn't make Lesnar look bad. This actually is good for Dean Ambrose. You know, it is a no-holds-barred situation. Anything can go. He could win this match. Brock Lesnar, if he does lose this match to Dean Ambrose, is not going to come out on the losing end looking like a fucking chump. That's because the Wyatt family is going to have a 4-on-1 mentality in this match. And, you know, I know he's Brock Lesnar, but there's no man on this planet that should survive a 4-on-1 mauling, especially Brock Lesnar. Okay, I don't give a shit who he is. So the Wyatt family is going to have a major role at WrestleMania. Going to be very interesting to see what happens here. As far as Mick Foley, I don't think he's going to physically be in the match. I don't think he's going to be cleared to take any bumps at all. He might be there in a mentoring role or somewhat of a motivational role for Dean Ambrose to kind of get in his head and be like, you know what, you got to channel that hardcore legend in you. Something along those lines, but I don't think Mick Foley is going to get involved and have a active role in this match, meaning that he's going to be in the ring. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I'm interested to see where WWE goes with Bray Wyatt, because the man is too talented to not have gold around his waist, and he's too talented not to be included in something important at WrestleMania. Look forward to that. That's the latest news on Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32. Vince McMahon will remain on WWE television after WrestleMania 32. McMahon and WrestleMania, obviously, is going to be a game changer no matter what. And that happens to be between Shane McMahon and The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. Things are going to happen, things are going to change, and things are going to come to a boil at WrestleMania, and that involves Vince McMahon. There's too much on the line for Undertaker to simply beat Shane McMahon in the match without any interference or issues. That would be anticlimactic, and the only thing WWE absolutely can't do in the booking of this match, obviously they don't want to go that route because fans will be unhappy, and a lot of people on the internet will be crying and complaining if nothing big happens in this match. According to WrestlingEdge.com, Vince McMahon, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon are being advertised for Monday Night Raw on April 11th and the 25th, and multiple shows in May. What's particularly interesting is that Shane McMahon was not listed for those dates. However, that doesn't mean he won't appear at those shows. Honestly, would you announce Shane McMahon for these events after WrestleMania, given the stipulation on this match? Regardless, the authority being present after WrestleMania says a lot about the results of Shane versus The Undertaker at Mania. There are several outcomes of this match that could affect the McMahon family. First and foremost, Triple H has been busy with Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, so you know he's going to have something to say about the situation, especially if Shane McMahon wins. But if Vince McMahon throws in the towel, or what if Vince McMahon throws in the towel, and can't bear to watch his son's destruction any longer and gives him the keys to WWE on Monday Night Raw, he's directly betraying Stephanie and Triple H. Suddenly, those two are in a war with Vince McMahon as Shane runs the business on television. There are a lot of possibilities for post-WrestleMania storylines. The point is, having Vince on television after WrestleMania makes a lot of sense creatively. Now, I would not take this too seriously. This merely is WWE and these venues advertising shows for those particular dates. Those venues and shows need something to advertise for tickets to be sold. That's all that is. This is WWE not giving away a ending. This is not WWE giving away their potential main event or the outcome of their potential main event of WrestleMania. That would be fucking stupid. Why would you announce Shane McMahon for these shows? Then that would obviously give away that he's going to beat The Undertaker. We don't want to see that. We don't want to hear that. This is merely those venues and those promoters getting some type of advertisement out there so that those tickets can be sold. So obviously Shane not being announced, you know, that would ruin everything. Vince, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon are big enough names to be advertised for those shows and those Raw shows that they could sell tickets. Oh shit, Vince McMahon and Triple H and Stephanie are going to be there. Let me go out and buy tickets for me and the family. That's what that is. So obviously they didn't announce Shane McMahon on there because they don't want to give away any potential outcomes for WrestleMania. There would be a lot of backlash for that, and that would be pure stupidity and just plain retarded on WWE's part. You don't want to have that happen. Either way you look at it, Vince McMahon on WWE television is going to be very interesting. This is the one match that I am genuinely intrigued by and one that has the most interest on my behalf. That is Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker and Shane McMahon. Vince McMahon will remain on WWE television after WrestleMania. Don't look too much into it for the reasons that I just gave you. So, McMahon, Undertaker, WrestleMania, Hell in a Cell, going to be the main event. I hope that closes the show, and it's the one match that's going to have the most prosperous outcome out of everything at WrestleMania. Should be the main event closing WrestleMania 32. WrestleMania 32 roles for WWE legends now set. Numerous former WWE talents to appear on the show. WWE is really focusing on making WrestleMania 32 as big as humanly possible. There are now 8 matches confirmed and in place for the 5-hour event, and a few more are likely to be announced before it takes place on April 3rd. There are also going to be a number of past WWE names and legends there, and it appears as if the roles for Stone Cold, The Rock, and Shawn Michaels and others may have finally been set. Steve Austin confirmed a few months ago that he was going to be at WrestleMania 32. He will be at the Hall of Fame to watch the Fabulous Freebirds be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He said that himself on his podcast. And he even has a few ideas for his role. He pitched them to WWE, but nothing ever seemed to move forward with them. Since then, things have been up in the air, and according to Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer, the role for Austin has been locked in for a month or so ago. And his place is now set at WrestleMania. It was also confirmed that Shawn Michaels was confirmed to be at the event, but his role was still up in the air. A few ideas have been tossed around for Michaels, and neither one of them includes him wrestling at all. One idea is for him to be the special guest referee of the main event. Which main event that is, we don't know yet. But they are stating that one of the roles given to him was to be a referee during the Triple H vs. Roman Reigns match for the WWE World Heavyweight title. This would stack the deck against Roman Reigns even more, but it would mean HBK appearing on WWE television soon as well to set up this angle. This plan may have been squashed, and another idea is being tossed around that would have Shawn Michaels lead a group of legends to do a run-in during a match. Which match that is, they did not specify. It would be like the DX and NWO run-ins that happened last year during Triple H vs. Sting at WrestleMania 31. Now, I'm going to cut the report right there until I can talk about what The Rock has planned. Shawn Michaels and the role that I discussed for him, to me, which works best, would probably be him special guest refereeing not the WWE Championship match, but the Hell in a Cell match, for reasons I really don't have to go over. I mean, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels. That has history in the making right there. I mean, those two date back to the original Bad Blood pay-per-view and the first ever Hell in a Cell, which debuted Kane and just blew the fucking roof off the entire WWE. We'd never seen anything like that before, and it was one of those classic fucking moments that will live on forever in WWE. Obviously, you have the WWE fucking epic that Shawn Michaels and Undertaker had at WrestleMania 25, which eventually led to Shawn Michaels' retirement at WrestleMania 26. That also I don't even need to talk about with you guys. You guys know how epic that is. Shawn Michaels refereeing this match could be what's best for business and the best possible role for him. Plays into the fact that he's still bitter over the Undertaker's the loss to the Undertaker. Bitter over the fact that he got retired from WWE. You know, deep down, it will be revealed that Shawn Michaels really didn't want to retire, and he wanted to give the company a few more years, and he was forced to step down because he couldn't do what he set out to do, and that was beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania. What better way for Shawn Michaels to get involved and get his revenge after all these years on the Undertaker by kicking the Undertaker's head off and giving Monday Night Raw to Shane McMahon? I think that would be fucking awesome. Obviously, you got the aura of the Bullet Club roaming around. You got that rumor floating around. They might debut at WrestleMania 32 on behalf of Shane McMahon, giving him Monday Night Raw and control over WWE. Or they could just save that for Monday Night Raw, where Shane gets his revenge and he hires outside or outsiders from New Japan Pro Wrestling to pretty much take down the WWE. I don't know. WWE has a lot to play with here. They could certainly make it interesting. And this is a fucking creative writer's dream. Do they have the plans in place? Do they have the people in place to make this special? Yes, they do. Now just act on it. Shawn Michaels' best role, to me, at WrestleMania 32 is being a special guest referee for this Hell in a Cell match. I think that is the best role. And to be honest with you, being that Sting is retiring now, we're not going to get that Sting-Undertaker match. You know, we might get John Cena versus Undertaker eventually. But when all is said and done, who do you really want to retire the Undertaker? Who can logically go against the Undertaker and retire the Undertaker and end that magnificent career? There's nobody on the roster. People don't want to see John Cena do it. God forbid. I think people would fucking burn Titan Tower down to the ground. There's no other person but Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels comes out of retirement literally for one final match forever. And he ends up retiring The Undertaker. And conquers what he wanted to do and beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Might not be as important as it was back during WrestleMania 25, 26. But still, he gets his revenge, comes back for one more match. They have one more classic. And Shawn Michaels retires The Undertaker. That's my fantasy booking for Shawn Michaels. And this entire thing, you know, starting with this role at WrestleMania. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you guys think about that. I know I discussed that a few weeks back. As for The Rock, yes, he's confirmed, but we don't know what the fuck he's doing. He mentioned something grand is going to happen, something huge and important. Whatever that is, we don't know. His role isn't announced as of yet either. That's not totally unexpected, though, as he's virtually allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants within WWE. He could do whatever of these possible scenarios. Give a random promo, be the guest host of the show, be in the corner of the Usos, be in the corner of Roman Reigns, do a run-in and attack Triple H. Now, The Rock's main role here would probably be something to do with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns can win the title. He could have the Usos and The Rock out celebrating. Family, they're celebrating. And with The Rock's family present front row, Rock betrays everybody. Rock lays out the Usos with 2 Superman punches. No, not The Rock. I said Roman Reigns lay out the Usos with 2 Superman punches, and then The Rock just standing there like, bro, what the fuck is going on? And then The Rock can receive a spear on behalf of Roman Reigns. Turn him heel. Turn him heel in front of The Rock, the Usos, and his family. Boom. Right then and there. You want Roman Reigns to be respected more at the end of WrestleMania? You turn him heel at the end of that show. That's what's going to really, really set things apart. Huge difference from him just winning the title and being all cheery and all happy and fucking having that entire building come crumbling down because nobody wants to see that. Or you could turn this negative into a positive and you could have Roman Reigns turn on the biggest superstar in the fucking company, which would set up a match next year at WrestleMania. Rock versus Roman Reigns. Face Rock versus heel Roman Reigns. He goes on a fucking 1-year tirade of being the biggest fucking villain in WWE. Why he turned on his family? Because the fans drove him to do it. The fans betrayed him. The fans didn't respect him. And he's turning to the dark side. So simple, yet effective. There has been talk that Batista was going to be involved in the main event or at WrestleMania 32 in some way or another, but now that seems doubtful. Yes, he did meet with Vince McMahon at the Royal Rumble in January, but nothing really came of that meeting. Batista was not interested, and he's certainly not interested in doing anything now, being that the WWE suspended his best friend, a.k.a. Titus O'Neil. Ric Flair is yet another legend who will be at WrestleMania, but it's known right now exactly what he'll be doing, and that he will be accompanying his daughter Charlotte to the ring for her Divas Championship match at WrestleMania against Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. PW Insider and Mike Johnson has also confirmed that a number of other big names and past names will be in Dallas for the week of WrestleMania 32. Some of them will appear at the pay-per-view. Edge and Christian are not shockingly going to be there, and they'll probably have a skit or in-ring promo of some kind. Oddly enough, a couple of other names from past are expected to be in Dallas too. They are both former WWE Women's Champions, and they both are Beth Phoenix, who is married to Edge, and Candice Michelle. Now, what they will be doing there isn't exactly known, but it's interesting that they will be there. It isn't sure if WWE is bringing them in for WWE Access or something else, but they are not scheduled, or they are scheduled to be in Dallas during that week. WrestleMania 32 is going to be a huge event and one that brings together many stars of today, the future, and the past. The Rock, Shawn Michaels, and Stone Cold Steve Austin are going to make that pay-per-view even bigger, and it's getting close to when all plans need to be finalized and all roles for them need to be set. I don't have any idea what Austin's doing. I don't have any idea what The Rock is doing. I gave you my idea. I don't have any idea what Shawn Michaels is doing. I gave you my idea. WrestleMania 32, listen. If WWE really wants to generate more interest and more buzz, they should announce something with all 3 of these guys in the next 2 weeks. I have no idea why they have not announced anything for these guys as of yet, but WWE probably wants to keep most of this stuff under lock and key. It could be a vital role in the show. It could potentially lead to a possible outcome in a match. I don't know. WWE is keeping very hush-hush about this. They want huge surprises to be at WrestleMania. They don't want to give everything away at once. So, obviously, you can't blame them, but it would be nice to have an idea as to what these guys are doing at WrestleMania. That is the latest on both, on all three, I should say. Steve Austin, The Rock, and Shawn Michaels. We mentioned Mick Foley. He's going to be there. Ric Flair is going to be there. Beth Phoenix and Candice Michelle. Edge and Christian are going to be there. Probably many, many more as well. Going to be very interesting to see what happens at WrestleMania 32. And finally, guys, popular tag team, the Lucha Dragons, possibly to split up with one of them turning heel. It's been something that appears to have been in the works for a couple of months now, but WWE may soon pull the trigger on this heel turn, with Kalisto as the current WWE United States Champion and doing well in the singles ranks. Sin Cara is kind of doing nothing since returning from injury. Now, it looks like a split of the Lucha Dragons is about to happen for good, and it could result in one member of the team going through a heel turn. A few months ago, Sin Cara went out with injury that kept him on the shelf for a while. During that time, Kalisto had a successful run in which he won the United States Championship twice from Alberto Del Rio, and he still currently holds that title. Now, Kalisto has a huge match on the card for WrestleMania 32 as he will defend his title against Ryback in a one-on-one match that will surely put everybody to sleep. That has left Sin Cara without a match of anything to do at the event, even though he could be put in the third annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. A split of the Lucha Dragons appears to be quite inevitable, and a recent tweet from Sin Cara makes it all seem like it's a change of personality coming for his character. Wrestling Inc. is reporting that the English translation of Sin Cara's tweet reads, "The less people you know, the better." Combine that with his all-new black in-ring outfit, and it looks like Sin Cara wants to become a bit of a loner. That sure sounds like someone that is wanting to go out on his own, but it isn't entirely accurate. There is a discussion on Reddit where some are saying that the first translation going around is loosely translated but not accurate. A number of users have said the English translation usually states, "The less people you know about you, the better." Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything dark or foreboding is coming, as the first translation of Sin Cara's tweet, but it certainly gives a very telling message. The Lucha Dragons are just about to make their one-year anniversary of moving up to WWE main roster from NXT, and they've certainly been one of the more popular tag teams. Fans have taken to them and really pop huge for them all the time. While Kalisto has done well on his own during that time that Sin Cara has been out, some have to wonder if they could both have successful singles runs. Rumors from late last year said that WWE was not planning on ever pushing Kalisto due to his size. The luchador with the small stature has just proven to be so popular that WWE had no choice but to push him. Unfortunately, Sin Cara has never drawn the same kind of popularity as a singles wrestler. Together, the Lucha Dragons came close to winning the tag team titles on a number of occasions, but they just never quite got there. Still, the fans took to them and loved watching them perform in the ring and dance. Now, Kalisto soared to a great run with the United States title, and a successful title defense over Ryback at WrestleMania would really make him into a big player. If the Lucha Dragons are going to be split up by WWE, it's likely going to happen very, very soon. The Dragons usually wear matching in-ring outfits, but Sin Cara recently wore all black and appears to be heading for a heel turn. But will he succeed without Kalisto? Kalisto has soared to a great run with the United States title. False. Sin Cara wore all black. Will he be successful without Kalisto? False. WWE splitting up the Lucha Dragons? False. I don't think this is a good idea whatsoever. I don't give a shit what color Sin Cara is wearing. Maybe he's having some kind of fucking, midlife crisis. I don't know. This is a terrible idea, breaking them up. All because one is a singles champion doesn't mean you have to split up the tag team. WWE's not thinking logically here. You want to make the most, and I'm going to keep this simple because this is a fucking retarded idea. This is idiotic. Okay? Number one, you need tag teams. The Lucha Dragons are a solid tag team. They are great together. I love their work in NXT, and I couldn't wait for them to succeed the same way they did in NXT on Monday Night Raw. Logically, as a creative writer and a fucking higher up in WWE, why don't you get the most out of everybody that you can? Kalisto should never have won the United States Championship. Never. This should have been strictly a tag team that went on to win multiple titles and build that division around. Build them as one of the best babyface teams in the division. WWE panics. They got Kalisto. They want to use him. Sin Cara's hurt. They figured they put him with the United States Championship, and they kept the title on him. Why? I don't know. Nobody gives a shit about Kalisto as the United States Champion. They cared the first night he won it, but then you took it away from him the same week on SmackDown, which pretty much derailed all his momentum, and now he won it back, and nobody cares. Now he's going up against Ryback at WrestleMania in a match. Nobody cares. Yet you want to split up the Lucha Dragons, which is probably the best thing for Kalisto out of everything, even though he is the United States Champion. Why are you going to split them up? Why? Logically, get the most out of every superstar that you can. If you split up the Lucha Dragons, that means Kalisto is going to go on to be a singles character, and Sin Cara is going to have nothing to do. WWE will not push Sin Cara. Sin Cara will not be winning any meaningful matches. He will not be in any meaningful storylines or feuds. He will not be winning mid-card titles. The only thing that potentially leads to is a possible Sin Cara versus Kalisto one-on-one match. And nobody gives a shit about that. The Lucha style does not work on Monday Night Raw or on the main roster. It just doesn't. That was proven with the original Sin Cara, with the fucking blue lighting and the mist and the fucking bullshit that happened with the original character. Nobody gives a shit. Seriously. This is a terrible idea. WWE has ruined the United States Championship to the point where I don't give a fuck about it anymore. It goes from the heights of John Cena to fucking Kalisto, which nobody gives a shit about, and now you're fucking rumored to be giving it to Ryback. And then at that point, the title will be fucking dead. Dead. Nobody's going to ever give a fuck about the United States title. How the mighty have fallen. What should have happened with the United States title is the same way that I book it on my WWE Universe mode. Fucking US Open challenges every week, no matter who the champion is. Take what John Cena did so great and utilize that with the next fucking title holder and repeat that until John Cena comes back and surprises everybody and him challenge for the United States title against whoever the champion is at the time. Why is that so difficult? But no, WWE wants to give the title to Del Rio and Kalisto and Ryback. Three guys that don't mean anything in the spectrum of WWE. They got Kalisto in a role that nobody gives a shit about him in. Put him back with the Lucha Dragons. Put him back with Sin Cara. And give these guys a run going for the Tag Team Championship. I'd much rather see these guys go against the New Day. I'd much rather see these guys go against the Dudleys. I'd much rather see these guys go against the Usos and are debuting Enzo and Cass than have one sit out and do nothing. And then Kalisto sit around with the title and just wither away with that title that means fucking absolutely zero. That's just my 2 cents on that. Popular tag team to split up? Fuck that, WWE. Keep the popular tag team together because it's a role both of them will thrive in. And if you split them up, one will die and the other will just be mediocre for the rest of his career. Meanwhile, both, they will be great together and possible tag team champions. Logically, think logically when you got characters like this and thinking about splitting up teams that don't need to be split up. Keep them together. 1 year together, not enough. This is a team that should have multiple tag team title reigns under their belt. Not one wasting away and the other holding a belt that means nothing, having a singles run. That's just my thoughts and opinions and 2 cents on that. Let me know what you guys think about the Lucha Dragons. Splitting them up, good. Splitting them up, bad. I know for a fact that's a terrible fucking decision. But that is Off the Script, guys. That is part 3. There will be a part 4 of Off the Script. 11 a.m. on Monday for your workday. Make sure you guys check that out. Gonna be great, man. I have a lot of news, including Sting being forced to retire due to the same neck injury suffered by Edge. Triple H and Kurt Angle did not meet at the Arnold Classic. Do not believe anybody. I got the full story on that. I got news on Dean Ambrose being in the WWE title picture after WrestleMania. And I also got news on Triple H going at it with Kevin Dunn because big-time executives on Monday Night Raw disrespected NXT. If you missed it on Monday Night Raw, it was so subtle that you might have missed it. But I'm going to talk about it on Off the Script, Part 4. Also, Hulk Hogan awarded $115 million in his lawsuit from Gawker. All that on Part 4. Don't go anywhere. This is the #1 source for WWE news and rumors right here on Off the Script. YouTube.com. I'm JD. Hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you're thinking down below. Check the description. If you missed Off the Script this weekend, links are down below. iTunes podcast, link down below. Pro Wrestling Tees, WrestleCrate, Twitter, Juicy Steen. Everything you need, everything you guys need is down in the description below. And I'll be back on Monday for more Off the Script. I'm JD, and I'll talk to you guys soon.